Hello guys, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our dot programming language course. I hope you all are fine. Our previous tutorial was about ternary operator. Now in today's tutorial we are going to start loops. Let us see definition. In programming, loops are used to repeat a block of code until certain conditions are not completed. For example, if you want to print your name 100 times, then rather than typing print your name 100 times, you can use a loop, right? So this is the benefit of loop. Our first loop is for loop, right? In this tutorial, we will discuss for loop. This is most common type of loop. You can use for loop to run a code block multiple times according to the condition. The syntax of for loop is, here you can see the syntax of for loop. Here first of all we do our initialization, and after semicolon we write our condition, and after condition we use increment or decrement of variable, right? And here inside curly braces we write our statements. Now let me open VS Code and show you practically. You know, dot program always start with a main function. Now inside main function, let me write my first loop, right? So our first part is initialization part. Let me initialize a variable integer I, and its value will be 1 for now. After semicolon, here I will write condition. Now for example, I want to print counting from 1 to 10, right? So on the basis of this int I, variable I will write my condition. So I want to print I from 1 to 10. Here I will write condition where I is less than or equal to 10, right? And after semicolon, here I will write my increment or decrement. In this case I need increment because variable I has a value of 1. I need to increment this value up to 10, right? That is why I will write here I plus plus. Now after that, here inside curly braces I will print I. Now let me run this. Here you can see our counting has been printed from 1 to 10, right? This is the benefit of loop. Now let me explain it again. Here first of all we initialize our variable, right? We can declare any variable here. In our case I have declared variable I, its initial value is 1, right? And after semicolon, here we will write our condition, right? That is condition, right? That is very important, right? So our loop will start working until this condition become false, right? When this condition is true, our loop will working, right? It will print, right? And when this condition will become false, then our loop will stop, right? And at the end I plus plus, right? It will increment the value of I with 1, right? And if I want to increment the value instead of 1, and if I need to increment value by 2, then let me write plus equal to 2, right? It will increment value by 2. Now let me test it. Here you can see this time it is printed 13579, right? Because our increment is 2, right? Here you see the difference. This time our increment is 2. That is why it is printed 137,579, right? And if I increment 3, let me write 3. Now you will see the difference. Here you can see this time it is printed 14710, right? So this is the basic use of our for loop. Let me write it again, I plus plus. No, this time I want to print counting from 1 to 20. Here I can write 20. Here you can see output. Let me show you another example. For example, I have a list of string m list. Let me add data to its add dummy data. I am adding just dummy data, right? Let me see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The size of our list is 5, right? Now I will print my list items one by one by using for loop, right? Now let me make some changes. As you know, indexing always start with 0, right? From 0 to 4, right? Here I will initialize my variable I with 0, right? Here instead of writing 20, I will write my list mList dot length, right? Because I need to print all the items inside this list, right? Here I will use only less than, not equal to, right? Because indexing always start with 0, right? Here I will print my items one by one. mList. I will use I as an index, right? Now let me run this. Here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is printing all the items inside list, right? Here if I use here equal to, right? This time it will show error. Here you can see it is showing exception, right? Because you know indexing start with 0, right? Length is 5, but it will start from 0, right? 0 to 4, right? 5 is not included. That is why we remove equal sign, right? We can also print both index and value. Here let me show you again. Index I, value mList I. Now let me print. Here you can see index 0 value, index 1 value, and up to 4, right? From 0 to 4. This is the benefit of loop. Now let me show you another example. Let me remove it. Now in this example, we will calculate sum of the natural numbers by using for loop. Now first of all, we will declare a variable total. Its value will be 0, right? And another variable integer. We want to calculate the sum of natural numbers from 1 to 10, right? This is a number n. Its value is 10, right? Now here let me use for loop. Int I is equal to 1. Because our loop will start from 1, we need to calculate sum of natural numbers from 1 to 10, right? From 1 to 10. Here I will write condition I is less than or equal to. Instead of 10, I will write n because we already initialized a variable n, right? Here I will use I++. Now here we will use our total variable, right? Total. So here I will use assignment operator plus equal to, and here I will write I, right? Now at the end we will print our total. Let me run the program. Here you can see the output is 55. If you are confused with this statement, it means let me write in comment, total is equal to total plus I, right? This is the short form of this, right? Here I can also calculate the sum until 100, from 1 to 100. Here I can use 100. Now let me run this. Here you can see it is showing output 50-50. We can also calculate the sum of only odd numbers, even or odd. First of all, we will use for odd. Here I will use plus is equal to 2, right? This time it will calculate the sum of only odd numbers, right? Because increment will be of 2, right? Let me test it. Here you can see 2500. This is the sum of only odd numbers from 1 to 100, right? If I want to print the sum of only even number, then I will start my loop from 2, right? From 2, and increment will be of 2. Now let us test it. Here you can see the output. Now let me show you another example here. Now in this example, we will use if condition inside for loop. For loop integer I is equal to 1. The same example, I less than equal to 10, I plus plus, right? Now here we will print even and odd numbers by using if condition. Here by using if condition, here we will write I mod 2 equal to 0. If mod is equal to 0, then it means this number is even, right? Print even number I. Let me test it. Here you can see it is showing all the even numbers between 1 and 10, right? If any number is divisible by 2, right, and mod is 0, then it means this number is even, right? In else part, we can show odd numbers, right here. Let me test it. Here you can see it is showing all the even and odd numbers between 1 and 10, right? We can also print only odd numbers here, only changing the condition not equal to, right? Not is equal to 0. Here it will only print odd numbers. Here you can see. So this is the use of for loop. At the end, let me show you another important thing. For example, this is a loop. Here let me print my name. Here it is printing my name 10 times, right? Because our condition is from 1 to 10, right? Now let me make some changes. Here instead of 10, let me write I and change the condition to greater than, right? Here if you see, in this case our loop will never stop, right? Because our condition will not become false, right? It will always true. Now let me test it. Here you can see it is printing continuously, right? If you see, it is printing continuously. It will never stop, right? Here you see, if you see, it will never stop. It will start working, right? You can see it is printing and printing. This is called infinite loop, right? It will never stop. So please be careful about infinite loop. If your condition is always true, then your loop will called infinite loop and it will never stop. You need to stop it manually, right? Let me stop this. No, I stopped it manually. Let me change again condition. So this is the use of infinite loop. If your condition is always true, then your loop will never stop. It will start working continuously, right? So please be careful about infinite loops. So this was the basic tutorial about for loop, right? In our upcoming tutorials, we will see different loops and at the end I will make some interesting tutorial about looping, right? So if you have any question regarding for loop, you can ask in comment box and you can contact me on WhatsApp. Okay, good luck.